welcome back for another video. Today, right, there's a lot of news and the two key themes are actually decentralization and institutionalization, okay? Let's start on decentralization first, right? I'll just explain later why I want to talk. Why is the first theme decentralization? Let's just look at the first news, right? The biggest development today, the most exciting one is actually Ledger company has launched a new product called Ledger Nano X. If you can look at the screen, this is the latest product on their screen now. They have launched it at Las Vegas Consumer Electronics Show yesterday. And now the latest new product is available for pre-order starting today, January 7th. But it will only be shipped starting March 2019. So about 2 more months later, yeah. Now, the thing is, the news product, right, is much more enhanced, of course, right? It has its pros and cons, the way I see it. Definitely a lot of pros, right? First thing first, the biggest new addition is that it enables a Bluetooth connection. That means you can actually use it on your mobile. That means it's very good for people who are on the go. That's always one of the downside that people don't, fully recommend Ledger is because, right, for people who are always on the go, it is not so convenient to use. But now they have come up, with the solution that basically Ledger Nano X, right, is able to pair up with a mobile app that you can easily bring along whenever you travel, because the app that allow you to manage your assets when you want to transfer out or deposit into assets, that is very easy for you to manage on the go. So that's one. Second is that, the user interface is much more friendly now because it has only one button and it's right here. If you're looking at the screen, it's right here together with the screen that shows the instructions. And so the previous one, just to recap, right, you should look at the screen. The old product, which is Ledger Nano S, right, S stands for Singapore, it basically have the two buttons and it's on top of the device, right? But now they only have one button, which is much more friendly. It's a bit more like your iPhone, right? So it's a round button, quite slick, and together with the very close to the screen interface. The other thing is it has very enhanced memory, 6 times more memory, so it can support over 100 coins, storage of coins, versus now it's only 18. Yeah, so 6 times more memory. So that's definitely those are the big enhancements, and so definitely that's good. Pricing wise, I'm a bit confused, because what happened was I saw from a lot of news articles that quotes, right, is only about 119 USD. But when I actually go to their website and when I click on pre-order, right, I'm based in Singapore, so they will be showing. Okay, now it is fine. It's 189. Sorry, earlier on. So this is okay. So this is it is correct. So the price is 119 USD, or in Sing dollars term is 189, right? But so sorry, because earlier on when I went to the website, it actually shows some astronomical figure like $9,299 in Sing dollars, so which I thought, it's too much, it's just too crazy, yeah. And once they launched this, the Ledger Nano S, right, which is a bit older version, that is still very good to use if you always have access to a desktop. Then it is still great to use, and they're going to reduce its price because now it's $99. They're going to reduce it to $69. So for people, so it's actually very good for both, right? For people who are always on the go, they want more advanced features, then definitely can go for Ledger Nano X, which is definitely more expensive because it also support more coins. But if you're a newbie and you're not a frequent traveler, then you can definitely just stick to Ledger Nano S, which is also more affordable for people who enter this space, right? So the way I see it is definitely a very good thing for the overall industry, because they're coming up, with better user interface. So basically, one of the complaints is that, right, the user experience of all the crypto-related products are very, very poor, right? Because we do need a company like Apple equivalent in the crypto space to basically make things very simple. So to onboard new people when they come into the space, then it is very important. But now it is still far from it. But Ledger Nano X is definitely one step in the right direction, right? And not only they have come up with a new product that make it easier for people to use, and just more convenient as well, but they also lower the price, so the entry level product, it will be much more affordable for people, who are new, coming into the space. Yeah. So there's a trade-off, but it is a good trade-off. Of course, I do see then, right, that there is a space for actually, if there's any new company, right, who have better ideas for the user experience to come up and compete in this space, especially because now crypto is still not yet going mainstream, right? Can you imagine when next time when it go mainstream, if there's another competitor, a valid competitor that have come up with a very cool device, that has all the security features like what Ledger and Trezor has now, but it has even better and even more intuitive user experience, something like Apple phone, right, versus Nokia in the past, because Nokia was working really fine, right, until Apple comes along with such, intuitive user experience, right, that, really just kick ass, and then, it can then replaces this. So, still, I think definitely the cons, the pros is definitely, very good innovation, and also very good for the newbies to onboard, very affordable, because Nano X will become much more affordable for people who want more advanced, always on the go, so then they can, have a more advanced, more sophisticated alternative, right? The latest Nano X. But the downside, of course, right, there still remains room for a, really kick-ass, very secure product to actually safeguard our cryptocurrency. But for now, Ledger Nano X is the best already in the market. That's what I think. Yeah. Okay. Now, on the note of decentralization, so definitely, right, we just had the proof of keys event on January 3rd, and definitely you should, even if it's not January 3rd, you should always have a best practice to keep a lot of your cryptocurrency, the bulk of it, in your own storage, right? Because the one where you have the keys, then your keys is your coin, right? But, because there's a lot of issues with centralized exchanges, right? And there are also a lot of competition coming up, right? So that's the other thing. So the next news, right, is the new crypto exchange takes on behemoths with physical Bitcoin futures. So we already know about BAKKT coming in, but we don't know exactly when, because they have now said they're going to delay, right? But just early 2019, but we don't really know when exactly. But we do know also another cryptocurrency exchange called ErisX. They're also going to come on board, also expected around Q1. But interestingly, there's going to be another new one called CoinFlex. Basically, they're called CoinFlex, or the long name is Coin Futures and Lending Exchange. The investors behind them, among others, are Roger Ver, who is the creator of the Bitcoin Cash ABC. So now the thing is this CoinFlex will basically start to trade in Hong Kong starting February. No exact date, but then they just say next month, so February. The thing is that what is interesting is that they are going to also offer leverage trading, so they can, leverage up to 20 times. And they're going to have physical delivery of their futures contracts. So this is in fact the first exchange. Then CoinFlex will be the first exchange that actually offer a futures delivery, futures contract. So physical delivery futures contract, right? So that's even ahead of BAKKT and ErisX. But they're only targeting the Asia market. So it's, in another competition. So it's also interesting that, all these exchanges, later there's also more new exchanges coming up. And of course, Binance, existing exchanges continue to develop as well, right? Binance is working on decentralized exchange, right? And recently we have DX.exchange, which is based in Estonia, that, they already started trading today, and, they're going to offer tokenized offerings. So that's quite a differentiation, because they are offering, token securities, digital securities for the large Nasdaq stocks. Among others, it's like the FANG, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, Baidu, Tesla, right, Nvidia. So yeah, so so many exchanges are happening, right? So yeah, so it is really a contest, right, among centralized exchanges and also this decentralized ways, which are like the Ledger Nano, right? Next, buy the dip, the one exchange token I will buy right now. This is from Ethereum World News. Now, I'm not going to read through everything because this news is a paid writing. So it's a sponsored content by Nauticus exchange, which is a new exchange going to be based in Australia, yeah. And they're going to be launched in January, which is this month. And what is so they're trying to model something like the Binance coin exchange, where they're going to offer discounts on their transaction fees, if you use their token to actually trade, and but for now that they're going to have some discounts, of airdrop, and also the fee free trading for the first month, yeah. So the thing is that and the thing is they also plan to make it like super easy, because they have come up in May, right, 2018, to say that they want to make trading Bitcoin as easy as ordering a pizza. I don't know yet how their interface will look like because they still haven't launched fully, but it is interesting to see how easy that they are trying to make it, right? Yeah, I mean, there are some of the things already being tried are like the one-click button to buy the markets, right, to get alerts and all that. So I'm not really sure, right, or if you put in an amount, let's say just $100, $1,000, how much of the coins you can get, right? So those are quite easy features that already available in the market today. So not too sure what exactly differentiation are they going to do more now. So, but anyway, it's interesting. Okay, cool. Now, yeah. Next up, right, Singapore Bitcoin exchange BAKKT.com claims data center fire on proof of keys day exit scam, right? So what happened was there's a centralized exchange called BAKKT.com, right? That claimed that their data center was on fire on January 1st, and that's why for January 3rd, when the investors are trying to withdraw Bitcoin because of the proof of keys day, they, some of them are basically having difficulties, right? So now there's people are speculating that, is this exchange trying to play foul, right? Just like a few of the exchange like hitbtc.com that, basically they don't allow, they freeze the account for withdrawal on the January 3rd, right? So that actually speaks to a lot about like how traditional banking works, because like, when there's a bank run, what it means is that basically, when there's a speculation or there's a rumor that one bank particular is going to shut down, it's going to be bankrupt. So everyone who has money in that bank will go queue up, right, to that bank. Can you imagine that then that day the bank said, we will be closed for 2 days, right? And you can't withdraw any money. You don't have a choice. ATMs are not going to work as well. You don't have a choice. As a depositor, you are just at the whims of the bank. And that's why we say people who truly know banking know that if you are depositing money in a bank today, you are actually lending money to the bank, so it's not real money really, but yeah. So that's the thing. So that's why there are a lot of downside with centralized exchanges, despite so many of them are coming out, right? But on one side, I do see why are so many of them coming up despite this winter, crypto winter, year-long winter, that still we haven't fully recovered yet, right? Although Bitcoin has, exceed 4,000 level, but still, it hasn't fully recovered yet. Now, the thing is, I think what happened is that all these institutions that setting up new exchange, they do see that, there will be demand in the future for trading when the rally happens again. They are going to see a lot more volumes, and they don't, they expect there's enough pies, right? There's enough volumes to go around all these many exchanges. But it will be interesting to see still what happens. Most likely, what will happen is in the end there will be few dominant exchange that will be left, I think. Yeah. Next, Coinbase is again being criticized, right? Because they have the platform gap, and basically, Coinbase has always been said that they are too close to the regulators, right? That they are too compliant, basically. And Gap is basically a platform that is censorship resistant social media platform that basically allow anyone to say anything and it won't censor you. Yeah. So the thing is this: Coinbase, just stop them from accessing their cryptocurrency, while Square allows Bitcoin withdrawal. So this even, make Coinbase look even better, right? Even worse, basically. Yeah. Next again. So now I'm moving on to the second theme, which is institutionalization. Circle Invest, whom Goldman Sachs, right, the #1 investment bank in the world today, has stakes, right? They are seeing recurring trade volume has doubled since September. And this is for both their retail and OTC. OTC is institutions because over the counter, right? It's basically more secretive trading. Have seen significant growth over the past 3 months, right? And so according to a recently published UN report, more than 30% of all purchases on Circle Invest are recurring. So that's good, right? So basically, they have a lot of repeat customers, basically what it means is. And recurring trade volume has doubled since September. Now, where are they from, right? So the platform's user base is highly distributed across the globe, with approximately 30% of volume coming from US, 25% from EU and UK, 24% from Asia, and 21% from Middle East, Africa, and Americas, not including the US. So I would say it's very balanced, really around the world. And the interesting is that a lot of them, more than 30% of their customers, buy unique on-click collections. That means it's very convenient. They just want to do one click. And how many transactions are we talking about now? So in terms of 2018, Circle Trade has executed more than 10,000 OTC trades, so 10,000 units of OTC trades with a notable 24 billion in notional trading volume. It is small, but definitely it is a start, right? Because after all, regulations are not fully clear yet, so institutions are, they're still skeptical to come in, but I believe who are the institutions who are invested now will be like the family offices, hedge funds, who basically don't have the strong mandates that they need to invest in safer products, right? So a lot of the pension funds, right, the big pension funds they are still not in the market. And of course, a lot of the banks, for their own account, that they are still not in the market. Mutual funds, of course, are still not in the market because they have strong mandates that they still need to follow. Yeah. Next, so this is moving on to institutionalization, but this is basically very positive for the Bitcoin and crypto future. Crypto VC says everyone's forgotten about Bitcoin. Why that's okay? Yeah. Placeholder co-founder Chris Binance said the mainstream has forgotten about Bitcoin. However, that's not something to be upset about. It's a normal phase of crypto's development into a market-ready technology. Bitcoin once again niche amid crypto winter. Binance likely refers to the media outlets who have stopped reporting on the crypto industry and also to mainstream investors disheartened by the so-called winter. Many also hoped Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market will see a huge trigger for new adoption. The anticipated Bitcoin ETF approval by the US Securities and Exchange Commission hasn't happened yet. Institutional money inflow hasn't accelerated as expected, and retailers are still holding back their acceptance. And he said the mainstream has almost entirely forgotten about Bitcoin. But he doesn't mean it in a bad way, right? He just mean it that, so the thing is, he is actually basically saying, I should open up this one so to be bigger. There's a chart here, yes. So basically shows that installation phase. So he believes we are still very much in the building, in the installation phase, right? And we are almost kind of done building. That's what it says here. There's basically a star here. A star, if you can see the screen, it's a yellow star. And it says we are entering the frenzy phase of crypto, because now when everything is so not talked about, so not mainstream, this is now, my opinion, is the best time to enter, because really, right, frenzy is going to be the next phase, because frenzy means price is going to shoot up, we're just waiting for the right trigger, and no one knows exactly when, right? But it's going to happen. It's just when. We need that right trigger. Again, which trigger exactly, no one really knows, right? But when it moves up, it will go crazy, because this time not only the retailer, it will be led by institutions, and once institutions come in, then the retailers will actually even more will come in, right? Because the last rally was mainly just led by retail investors who are largely unsophisticated, who buy because they heard someone else was buying. They don't really know what they are buying. So hopefully with the 2018, a lot of them have gotten to know more about cryptocurrency, yeah. And of course, then, we are still very early on in the stage, as you can see that S curve, right, in the screen. Basically, we need to reach a frenzy, and then there's still a long way to frenzy. And then next is more consolidation, synergy, then, maturing is consolidation. It can easily take, 15 to 25 years for the whole curve to, reach maturity, just like how internet took time to, mature. And even now, right, things are still happening on internet. Next, Fortnite's retail store removes Monero. CEO calls its inclusion accidental. Now, about 1 week ago, Fortnite, which is a very famous video game, right, has basically said that it is reported in news, on crypto-related news, that Fortnite are accepting Monero cryptocurrency as a form of payment. And at that time, everyone was very happy about it but it is weird that, everyone thinks why they accept Monero but not Bitcoin, because Bitcoin being the most dominant and well-known coin, right? But now that they have come up to say that it was a mistake, because when they work with a merchant processor, that, they have actually accidentally added Monero, but it wasn't meant to be. But regardless, so fine, it is clarified. But regardless, I think at least the Fortnite, which is a very huge community of gamers, now have, definitely awareness have been raised about Monero and about cryptocurrency overall. So I think it's just a good trend, yeah. Next news, right? The last one for today, report says most major crypto assets show close price correlation. The 2018 bear trend brought an increase in correlation across the leading cryptocurrency markets, with recent research indicating that 10 of the top 15 crypto markets by market cap show a price correlation of more than 64%. Additionally, 5 cryptocurrency pairs show a correlation larger than 80% for 2018, which is ADA, Cardano, and Stellar, Bitcoin and Litecoin, Monero and Bitcoin, Ethereum and Litecoin, and Monero and Litecoin. Yeah. So the thing is, I'm not going to read through it, but basically what it means is that this is basically confirming a lot of the hypothesis that a lot of people have already, that, when Bitcoin moves, right, almost every other major coin will move. And sometimes even, the gain is even faster than Bitcoin. Now, the thing is this, right, my take is that this kind of correlation will only happen at this early phase, because a lot of the projects are still in the phase of development. They still don't have a working products yet. A lot of them, right? Even Lightning Network is still in the testing phase. It's not fully launched yet. So in fact, many projects, like Ethereum also, in the process of upgrades, and we're still waiting, right, for a lot of things to be happening. EOS is still working, right? Although they have such high funding of 4 billion from their ICO. So many things are basically still working, and because of that, then it is very hard to see which one will survive and what is a clear differentiation among each of them. So for that, right, then people will think, oh, if this is leading, then let me quickly go and buy another one so that I will have higher price gains, right? So yeah, and so that's all I have for today. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Please, consider subscribing and right? Hit the like button below, and have a great day wherever you are. Live with high energy, live with passion. God bless. Thank you so much for watching.